Hello, everyone. I hope you are well and welcome back to our case studies again at Glow. My name is Gosha Pastor, and if you don't know me yet, I am a women's transformation coach and I'm also a mom myself. And today I wanted to welcome Natalie, who is my incredible client who completed her postpartum journey with myself. Hi, Nat. How are you?
Hello, I'm good, thank you. How are you?
Not too bad, not too bad. So today I wanted to share with you guys a whole transformation of Nat and really to get to hear from her what was her whole experience and how we actually reduced the postpartum weight for her, just from her point of view, and what exactly we did to make sure that she got to transform her body. I've got a little transformation and the whole presentation here to follow. So I'll just share this with you guys right now so you don't just see us, but you also see what's going on here. So yeah, and short and sweet, Nat, can you tell us a little bit more about you, who you are, what you do, just for people to get to know you?
Sure. Hi, I'm Natalie. I'm a 34-year-old mum from Glasgow, and I've got a little boy who's 3, and I work for a software company.
Lovely. So Nat has contacted me probably a year and a bit ago, and we worked together for about 6 months total. And in short, before we tap into deeper of her whole transformation, what happened, I want to really stress enough how different difficulties moms do have throughout their postpartum journey, especially after having a little one. And I feel like the most common factor that I speak with my clients about is the lacking time, lacking energy because of obviously being sleep deprived, or you might obviously find yourself in a new completely different routine that you're still finding your feet in. From the physical side of things, that I know that a lot of clients come to move the stretch tummy or the tummy as not reducing, so there's that extra body fat that we carried after pregnancy, and we are so confused about the diets and what is it that we should be doing to actually reduce that tummy without maybe having an impact on the milk supply, but also to make sure that we're doing the right things so that energy levels are high. I know that so many moms also struggling with lack of support, and yeah, in the past we used to have the big village and a lot of people who could help us, but right now in this day and age it is a case, and I feel like because of that we also don't have enough time to get to do what we would like to do, and we leave the misconceptions of how little or how much we should do to do the workout that's effective and what exactly we should be doing, and really winging it most of the time. So that's the kind of common struggles I feel like majority of moms have. However, not with you, what do you feel like from all of these struggles has been maybe the struggle for yourself, and maybe perhaps there's something that I've not listed here that you would say that you have been struggling with in your postpartum journey?
I think definitely the low energy and sleep deprivation, that was a major factor for me. When you've got a young baby, you're getting up at all hours in the night, and then during the day you have to be fully present, full of energy to be able to look after your child and give them the best. So that was for me a real deciding factor, starting with yourself.
Mm-hmm. And what was it like for you before you actually began working with me? What was your routine like? What was your life like? And how that all looked like for you?
So I actually stay really close to a gym, so I was able to go now and again and sort of dabble and do a bit of cardio and maybe try some of the weights, but I didn't really know anything about weightlifting or strength training. There's an area in the gym for weights, and I always thought of myself as just not able to go and be in that area. I just found it too intimidating. I felt like I didn't know what I was doing. I was going to injure myself. So I think that was also something that I really wanted to learn, and how to build that strength and be able to kind of be confident anywhere in the gym.
Mm-hmm. And what would you feel like was your biggest challenge with regards to the training, the nutrition, and the mindset, postpartum, especially with your body, with the energy levels?
I think just trying to break the habits that I've always had. So, like I said, in the gym, not really knowing what I was doing in terms of nutrition, probably eating too much, too big portion sizes, too much sugar, not enough protein, not really understanding like the importance of protein and how to sort of schedule your meals out in a sensible way. And then the mindset thing of, if I missed a day at the gym or didn't go, just feeling like, oh, well, I've ruined all the progress that I had. And just really kind of struggling with what I later learned with yourself was the all or nothing mindset.
Absolutely. And before we began working together, have you tried anything specifically, or what have you done beforehand to get yourself to a better position? Like obviously postpartum weight loss, that didn't work.
So I enjoy walking, so I would try and go walking and maybe do some cardio at the gym, but nothing really with any particular structure, just sort of winging it and hoping that the weight would come off and I would feel fitter.
And I assume that at this point in time, things didn't quite progress for you.
Exactly. Yep, that's right.
So what made you decide specifically to invest in coaching with me instead of trying to figure out on your own or choosing any other coach? Because I know there are so many coaches out there, and I appreciate that everybody has a different expertise, different experience. What drew you to Glow?
So I think I've been following you for a while on socials, and you seemed really knowledgeable and quite approachable. And then when we had the call, I think there was definitely a personality fit there. I thought, you seemed like a really nice, supportive person, and I think that's the kind of person that you need in your corner. And then when we started working with you, I think one of the first check-ins I'd said, like, wow, like you really know your stuff. So I think I immediately was quite confident that I'd made the right decision to go with yourself.
I know. I do remember actually our exchanges on not only just within the app space, but also on WhatsApps when you needed that extra support here and there. Having these conversations was very helpful. And I really enjoyed giving you that advice because sometimes we coaches make and feel like we take things for granted that we know what we know and everybody else could know that too. But because I appreciate that so many of my clients might have completely different backgrounds, information, knowledge, and it's all mixed all over the place in obviously social media, and we've got access to so much information, but it can be quite confusing. So when you were having that contact with me through WhatsApp, to me, this is like an amazing opportunity to kind of clarify certain things, and you had the opportunity to ask the questions. I remember you were an incredible person when it comes to asking, because this is the only way you learn, and knowledge is power, as you can see. So that was amazing. So was it very scary for you to begin and make that decision when you obviously were a busy mom, working already? It was still a little baby, and in the end of the day, your little one, Killian, back in the day, gosh, we've met each other not that long ago. He's not anymore. That just shows me how like time flies. But how scary was it for you to get started, and how did that feel for you?
I think there was an element of fear, fear of failure and, that I wouldn't be able to achieve the goals that I had. But I think I was really well supported from the beginning. I think the most intimidating thing was maybe the meals. So I think maybe I was eating 3 meals a day, and I think it jumped from that to 5 meals. And I was like, oh my goodness, like, how am I going to manage to eat all this? And especially breakfast, like it felt like I was eating so much. So I think those first couple of weeks, that side of it, the nutrition side, was maybe a bit intimidating. But really quickly, you find your rhythm, you meal prep, you find the foods that you like, and after a while, it was just became like second nature.
And what was different about my approach compared to what you've tried before?
Definitely being more conscious of the portion sizes. So for example, like weighing out my porridge and my rice and things like that. Before, you would just kind of guess and hope that was the right amount of food to sustain you for the day, but actually giving it a lot more thought and thinking about how much protein and just all the different elements of your diet that's going to give you energy and keep you fueled and healthy. I think that was a big change and a big sort of learning curve for me.
And can you talk to us a little bit more about your nutritional needs that you had when you first started? Because a lot of people don't realize this, but obviously we adjust this bespokely to you, to whatever you need right now at this point in time, any intolerances, allergies, etc. Would you talk us through a little bit more of that? Because I think that came to you as a surprise when you first reached out.
Yeah, definitely. So I follow a vegan diet. So all of the meals were prepared with that in mind, and I try to avoid things with soy in it as well, just due to intolerances. But yeah, the meal plan was really varied, and I didn't really feel like I was missing out. There were times, I think was it last year, I was asking for mince pies and things like desserts, hot chocolate. So I never felt at all like the meal plan was restrictive. It was really varied and kind of suited every mood I was in. Like, did I want something cozy, like a soup? Did I want a dessert? And all the kind of staples, like my tofu wrap and my porridge with dates and things like that. So yeah, it was a great meal plan to have.
Definitely. I'm always all in to help my clients when it comes to nutrition, and especially when you've got some cravings, because in the end of the day, if you want something to work for you long term, you can't be avoiding the foods. And as much as we want to see maybe the results very quickly, very easily, yeah, absolutely. We could put you on the most difficult diet, most plain and clean diet with, no processed foods at all. But the moment you're going to introduce it back, your body will start reacting onto this. The reason why I also do this is because I know that if you're going to have the 20% of a bit of processed food, that makes no difference. That actually still has been very realistic around what is it that you want to achieve, and then actually getting there and being able to maintain it long term. And that's the goal. And when it comes to the workouts and general training support, did you feel confident in the gym for the first time, or how did that feel for you? Can you tell us a little bit more about like the whole gym journey for you?
Yeah, I think it did take a while to feel comfortable. So some of the exercises were, barbell squats, deadlifts, using the free weights, things that I'd just never done before in the gym. So at first it did feel a bit intimidating, and especially with the barbells, they're so big and heavy, and I did feel a bit of kind of fear of, will I be able to get it right? Am I going to injure myself? My form isn't right. But you were really good at if I would send you a video of what I was doing, you were able to correct it and really sort of notice things that I just wouldn't have spotted and be able to correct my form. And since then, I've been able to, work in my form, get it right, add on more weights and increase my strength that way. So definitely feel a lot more confident in that department.
Definitely. Just like I mentioned earlier about Nat being such a great person when it comes to asking questions and doing the do. One of the things that I do and I offer for my clients is checking your form, sending the video. You can send a video as a client, and then I am feedbacking and stopping exactly where things are wrong and correct them to be right, or maybe just a small niggles to make sure that we are addressing the right muscles as well when it comes to weightlifting. So you actually just reminded me of it, because you were absolutely amazing sending them quite often, and that made such a significant difference when it comes to your technique, and you actually improving on that too. So that was amazing. And also when it comes to the results, okay, so we're actually currently at the slide I've moved on to earlier. This is less than a month of coaching for Nat, and can you tell me a little bit more about these results, exactly when you started, obviously with the tummy postpartum that's still there, to obviously reducing it within just about first month?
Yeah, I mean, I think I surprised myself when you sent that comparison picture. I remember staring at it and checking, thinking, oh my goodness, like I can't believe this is me. So that was a huge boost for my confidence, and just nice to see that, the hard work I've put in and the support that you've given me has resulted in this transformation.
Yeah,
So it was lovely.
it was amazing. And how do you feel now compared to when you started?
Well, now I feel like I'm less kind of taken with the all or nothing mindset. I think when I was doing the coaching program with you, obviously we were really keen on getting those results, and there was a lot of learning that I had to do and a lot of unlearning of certain limiting beliefs. But now I feel like the fitness and the weightlifting, it's just a part of my life. And obviously I'm not going to get it perfectly every time. There might be times where I need to rest, or times when I'm feeling super motivated and want to kind of give it 100%. And I think just the key for me now is just maintaining that consistency and understanding that this is a lifestyle. I've been given the tools and the knowledge to use this. I've been given the confidence, so I can go into the gym, I can push myself, and just hopefully try and maintain this lifestyle as long as I can.
Exactly. Thank you so much. And is there anything specific that you are the most proud of throughout all the journey that we've had together?
Um, hmm. There's a lot to actually have this conversation. I feel like, there's a lot that I feel proud of. It's just looking through the pictures and kind of reflecting on the journey that we had. I think just making that first step and just going for it. I think I'm proud that that happened. I'm proud of the things that I've learned and the change in my attitude in terms of nutrition. So yeah,
Yeah, definitely. I think all or nothing mindset for you was one of the biggest struggles. And what I saw between to where you were and where you're at now, it's insane because now, obviously, months later, after working together, we caught up just for a kiddie toddler catch up. So for those people that don't know this, obviously, we made a little catch up after months later. And what I love about it is I am recapping and chatting with my clients. How are you getting on? How's things? And are you maintaining the results? Are you still continuously going to the gym? And I hear yes, and I'm very happy because I know that this wasn't a short-term coaching. This is a long-term result for you, and I can see that you are continuing to maintain them and working on yourself and the nutrition side of things, and so is the training, which is making me very happy. And I know you mentioned also that you're maintaining your lifts, that you're still progressing when it comes to the weightlifting, which is amazing. So that is exactly what I always want to hear from my clients that I work with or worked in the past. And lastly, before we wrap it up, I wanted to ask, what would you say to another woman, maybe postpartum, maybe another girl who is extremely busy in her lifestyle and career, because you are a very much high achieving woman as well yourself, Natalie, who struggle maybe with her body image, the confidence at the gym, and maybe is a bit overwhelmed to get started. What would you say to her for her to reach out for help?
I think I'd say, you're worth it. Like, you're worth investing in yourself. Your kids are always going to need you. Someone's always going to need something from you, but don't be afraid to put yourself first and, invest in your health and invest in your own happiness. This is a long-term thing. You should definitely consider it. And if you've got the support of the right coach like yourself, then, getting that confidence back and making that time for yourself will be a lot easier.
That's lovely. Thank you so much for this, and thank you so much for your time and talking everybody through this. And if there's anybody of you that are considering coaching with me, we do offer free consultations, so you can click the link down below on the YouTube, and I would love to support you through that journey. This call is completely non-committal, and if there's anything I can do for you or you have any questions, reach out to me on my Instagram, Gosia Moms Coach. Speak to you soon, guys, and thank you so much, Natalie, again. Speak to you soon.
Thank you. Bye.